So here's the quiz we just did about about Unit 1 and the prior knowledge you needed to have. And the average accuracy was 62%. So that's a 6 more or less on 10. Let's take a look. Question 8 was done at 14 incorrect answers and 8 correct answers. And it reads, when you cook shrimps, they turn from gray to pink. Is this process chemical or physical? Now, perhaps you don't know, but this is a good occasion to explain. Color is a chemical property of it's a chemical property, and it changes if the substance is a different substance, has it got a different color. Think of sugar. When you make caramel, it goes from white to brown. Cooking shrimps is a chemical process, and color is a chemical property. Oh, I made a mistake myself. It's a physical property. I'm sorry. It's a physical property, of course, because light is a physical phenomenon, but the process is chemical. So it's a tricky question. Even I got that wrong. Chemical property, is a property that, you do a chemical reaction to test a property, like acidity, like oxidation. So that's that. Then we have substances, one dissolved into another. Iodine is dissolved into alcohol, and these are the solute and the solvent. Again, I put in this question to have the opportunity to explain this to you, as this is knowledge needed for the next part. So iodine solute, alcohol is the solvent. Most people who had it wrong thought other way round. So solvent is what you put something into. Then this was about half-half, but I see only 5-second average. Which property does solubility depend? And that is temperature. Most people had it actually right, and some people thought concentration. Concentration is actually how we measure solubility, so it's how much substance we can put into a solvent, but it depends on the temperature. In hot tea, you can dissolve more sugar than into cold tea. Then we have here the question with the thermometer, and a bit small. A thermometer has gradations which start at -10 and end at 110. What is the lower fixed point? What's the upper fixed point of the Celsius scale? That's something you might have learned last year in the physics. It's the lower point is the melting point of water, that is 0, and the highest point is the boiling point of water, is 100. So most people had that correct. Some people thought we were talking about the lower point and the upper point of the thermometer, but here again you need to read properly, and we're talking about this grade Celsius. Then here we have a graph. The graph in the figure above is related to the boiling point of a liquid. How long does the boiling of the liquid take? Now here it's important to know that when a pure substance boils, the temperature stays constant. So that's at 60 degrees here, and it happens from minute 5 to minute 12, so it takes 7 minutes, and not 15 minutes in total, like some of you thought. Here again, a question about the same graph. Which change of state could it also represent? That's a bit of a tricky one. So if the temperature increases, it could also be melting. So actually 13 of you had it correct, and some of you, evaporation is basically what happens when a substance goes from gas to liquid. And it's not really another word for boiling, because boiling is really at the boiling point, while evaporating can also happen below the boiling point. Here, most people had it correct again, but still only accuracy of 52%. What statement about evaporation of a liquid is correct? So if you analyze the answers, it's about the least energetic or the most energetic. So to escape from molecules from the surface, they need to have the most energy. And so it has to be C or D. And then the difference is what happens to the temperature, and the temperature decreases if an energetic molecule escapes, because the average, if the most energetic molecule escapes, the average energy goes down, so the temperature of the liquid decreases. And then lastly, I come to question 15, as Joshua asked me to discuss that. And he asks, each circle represents an atom and each different color of a different kind of atom. If two atoms are touching each other, they are bonded together. Which label is the correct one? You practice this. And this is the answer is correct. This is a mixture of compounds, as we have here one type, which is one black ball and two white balls, and another type of compound with two black balls and four white balls. Curious what you thought would be the answer if you were doubting this one. And Joshua also had a question about question 1. Which I'm going to rearrange the questions. I'm going to take the accuracy away, go to question 1. What statement about evaporation of a liquid is correct? Oh, this one I have discussed already. Or did he say, he said 7, sorry. He said 7, he says, fill in the gaps. Why does a kettle whistle when the water boils? So the right English word would be boil, not cooks. So either A or C. And then the answer, by heating the water, D. No, the only second option is kinetic. Energy of the water molecule increases. More and more molecules leave the liquid and form water in a gaseous state, steam. D. And then is it pressure or temperature of the air above the water increases? Actually, yeah. One could almost say both, but the temperature seems the most likely. Let's double check what was the right one here. Okay, the pressure of the air above the water increases. At one stage, it's so high that the air and water can escape through a small hole. Yes, it's about pressure because of it explains the kettle whistling. So it can also be temperature, but pressure is better because that explains the answer. So if you have any more questions about the quiz, let me know and I'll come back to you personally.